We have a 1987 Honda Prelude SI. It's a couple things, but otherwise it's a really good car. Runs smooth. Only problem is fifth gear is out. It's a 5-speed manual. Fifth gear, it goes in, but there's nothing there. Everybody says a transmission rebuild or so would fix it, or maybe some oil. Not quite sure, but I do plan to get it fixed, and of course the price will go up accordingly. It's got a fresh tune-up, fresh oil change, new water pump, so it's good to go there. Other than the fifth gear, everything else works. Got power windows, both sides, your radio and speakers. What does that say? 195,000 miles. And roof. One of the two, not really sure. Like I said, it's a 5-speed, so if you can't drive a 5-speed, I will gladly show you, but look for an automatic, I guess. It's pretty good on gas. The website says about 31 miles per gallon, which I'm not sure what that is because there's no way of telling. But $30 fills it up, and I could ride Charleston and back and Columbia on the same tank. I do a lot of commuting, which is the reason I bought the car. And it's pretty good on gas. My other car is a Crown Vic, and it's not so good on gas. This car is really good on gas. Like I said, it does have a new water pump. It's right there. It's the only shiny thing in here. It's a 2-liter A20A3 engine. If you want to look up, it's not a huge aftermarket community like this, but it's there. Most people just do a turbo on it. Interior is pretty good for its age. The car is 25 years old, so it's not bad for what it is. And like I said, everything else works except for fifth gear. Pretty clean. Got a couple tears in the driver's seat, but other than that, that's it. Take it for a quick spin. Oh, yeah, that's me too. The little door open ajar thing works for all sides, including the trunk. Yeah, except other than that, it's pretty good car. Got a radio. AC and heat work. To be quite honest, I didn't fully AC. I haven't had the car that long. It's been cold. Heat works really well, so, but AC does work. Like I said, the only problem really is fifth gear. It's just not there. If I come off the clutch, you hear a little grinding sound, but it doesn't do anything. It's just spinning around. It's either stripped or synchros off or whatever. I'm not really sure how it is with Hondas, but everything else works great. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse, and every other gear goes in like it should. Clutch is strong, good brakes. Going backwards. the fifth gear only really affects if you're driving on the, when I'm going down to Charleston, I'm pretty much going like 50, 60. And the speedometer. The speedometer only works when the brake is slightly engaged, the handbrake. So you pull it up and the light pops on. It's not actually, the brake's not on, but the speedometer works then. I do not know what does that, but there you have it. As long as the little red light's on, sorry for the sign, the speedometer works. See, it's moving. But yeah, fifth gear, the only problem I've really seen so far that I've had is, highway driving. Around town, it does perfectly fine. You would never really notice it. Occasionally when you're going up 17, you notice that you want to go a little bit faster, but that's about it. I'm in third now. Third gear. And fourth. 3,000 RPM seems to be the sweet spot for cruising in this car. If I put it in fourth and get about 3,000 RPM, which I'll show you in a minute when I get back on the highway. It's pretty good. Fourth gear, 3,000 RPM is about 60 miles an hour. So technically, you're not supposed to be going that fast anyway. And it's a really old car. I don't even know anybody would want to go that fast. But that's really the only thing. If you take the little brake off, the light goes away. And I'm moving, the speedometer isn't moving, so it's really just a peeve. It's not really something I really, bother to try and look at. Which I will if I keep the car, but like I said, the only reason I'm selling it actually is to work on another car. Crown Vic's bad on gas, but I like driving it more. But that's also for sale. I posted a bit of that as well, so check that out, or check out the Craigslist posting. It's a pretty good car. Mirrors work. I don't really know if you can see it. They work. There we go. It's a pretty good car. Like I said, the only problem I found with it so far is just the fifth gear. So the car drives perfectly fine the way it is as it stands. So if you buy it, you can drive it back and forth to work, bearing you don't go over 60 miles an hour. So, like I said, it's pretty good on gas. Like I said, the rated, I guess, government EPA, whatever you want to call it, it's 31 or 32 or 30, somewhere around there. $30 keeps me pretty good for the week. That's what I've noticed. me all the way around Charleston and Columbia and back here to Myrtle Beach. One of the reasons I'm driving so long is also to give people a pretty good bearing on the car working. Just so you know, if you only take the test drive and you're not going to drive it up and down the street twice and, you know, get an idea. Pretty much cover a lot of things now, so you don't have to waste your time picking things out later on. This is a pretty average test drive. In fact, this is a test drive that the dealership test drove a newer car. So I figured it should be good enough for a 25-year-old car. Blinker work. Got fresh fuses in there. Like I said, the car is pretty peppy itself, so it's not one of those slouch Hondas that you see passing around that you got retards driving. It's a pretty fun little car. It handles really well. I mean, like extremely well for the age that it is and the type of car that it is. It handles like, you know, like a new car would, but you know, instead it's a 25-year-old car. So really surprised me. So no leaks. I actually just came from the car wash, so there's no water inside of the car anywhere. It's a good car. I'm asking $1,500 for it. I think that's pretty fair. It's our best offer, of course. Not really into trading, but if you have a trade that you think I might like, I like Fords. I like motorcycles. Not hard or anything like that. Like, you know, little and stuff. Nothing too fancy. Like I said, I'm still working on stuff. I do plan on getting the gear replaced if I, you know, the longer I keep the car, actually, because it is kind of annoying when I'm going on the highway. And if I get it fixed, I'll add the price of the gear in. You know, obviously, the car will go up. It's a classic car, so, and it's kind of rare. But overall, it's a good car.